I have created this 60 to take you on a journey to meet with your spirit guide. In this process, we'll begin with a breathing exercise and surround ourselves with protective golden light. Then we'll journey together in spirit to a clearing where we'll meet with a spirit guide who is working with you at this time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel.
I feel really blessed to be sharing this space with you today, and I hope that you will find this meditation helpful and useful in meeting with your guide, finding out some information about them, and finding out how to connect with them and sense their presence in your everyday life. I really believe that everyone has a team of spirit guides working with them, and I also believe that everyone can communicate with their guides. I believe that we all have psychic or intuitive senses that we can use to forge these connections and to benefit from them. I really believe that our spirit guides want to help us in everyday life. They want to help us to live the best life that we can and to live a life that will allow us to follow our unique soul calling and our soul path. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to guide you on a meditation to meet with one of your guides, and we will ask them for information about themselves as well as symbols and signs that they use to communicate with you. We will also ask them to show you what kind of work they do, what area they specialize in, and how they can work with you to help you to follow your calling and to realize your purpose. So, without further ado, let's move into the meditation. So, we're just going to start by grounding ourselves, protecting ourselves, and really aligning with intention for our highest good. So, close your eyes, get comfortable. You could either be sitting down in a chair, laying down, whatever feels best for you. And don't worry if you end up falling asleep. That's okay. You can come back to this meditation as many times as you want to, as many times as you need to. There's no rush and there is no pressure. So, take a deep breath in and hold it for the count of 4. Breathe in. And breathe out for 4 seconds. Breathe in. And breathe out for 4 seconds. Breathe in. And breathe out for 4 seconds. Now, as you continue to breathe in and breathe out, imagine yourself surrounded by a golden bubble of light. And it starts at the top of your head, at your crown, about 5 inches from your body. And it slowly envelops your head, moves down your neck, down your shoulders, down your arms, your hands, and as it goes, it closes around and forms a bubble all the way around you. It forms around all of your fingers, and it keeps moving down your chest and your back, your hips, And now down your legs, right to the bottom of your feet. And as it reaches the ground, you see golden threads spreading out from the bubble like roots of a tree. They spread and they grow and they sink deep into the ground, and you can feel them sinking into the earth, rooted and secure. These roots can move with you as you move, so you can still move forward in them with them, and they keep you secure, grounded and safe. Now at this time we are going to invite your gatekeeper guide, who is a guide who protects you and watches over you for your whole life. I'm going to invite your gatekeeper to come forward, and we're going to ask them to protect you, to keep you safe, and to walk with you during this meditation. And you can say, Gatekeeper, be with me, protect me, and come with me on this journey as I meet my spirit guide. I allow only guides in the light to come forward. I allow only those in the light who have my highest good and the highest good of all in mind to come forward and communicate with me. I am surrounded by golden light, protection, and I am completely safe. Now, see before you a doorway. Notice the doorway and the material of the door. Is it wood? Is it stone? Is it plastic? Or perhaps it isn't a traditional doorway at all. Maybe it's the entrance to a cave or a waterfall. Take a moment to just look at this door and touch the door. Reach out, feel the surface. Is it rough or smooth? Does it feel aged or new? As you feel the door, you begin to see light around the edges, as though there is a bright light on the other side of the door. And the light is warm and feels like sunlight. Now, when you're ready, touch the handle of the door, and we're going to open the door. As you open the door, you at first see this bright light, and it's so bright that you can't make out any features, but you feel its warmth and you feel its tranquility and peace and safety, and you know that you are completely safe in this light and that your gatekeeper is with you, protecting you. Walk through the door, and as you do so, take a deep breath in and notice the feelings that you are receiving right off the bat as you very first step through the door. Notice the way that the air feels on your skin. Does it feel dry like the desert, or damp like a forest. Maybe it feels cool like the nighttime. Maybe there's a breeze or even a strong wind, or maybe you can feel moisture or rain. Take another deep breath in, and take in the smells that you notice. Do you notice any particular smell from nature? Maybe it's the smell of the forest, the trees. Maybe there's a watery smell. Maybe you can smell the sea. Or maybe you smell a field of flowers. Maybe it smells like the city and you can smell food. Now, imagine looking around you from side to side and take in your environment. Where do you find yourself? Is it in nature or somewhere with people? Maybe a city or a town. What does the energy feel like? Does it feel quiet there, peaceful, silent, or does it feel busy? Is there a feeling of sound and excitement and lots of things going on? Whatever you're experiencing, that's perfect for you. Trust your intuition. Trust what you're being shown. Trust what you're feeling. Now, we're going to look ahead and we're going to move forward into a clearing. It might be a standing stone circle, or it might be a town square that's quiet, or it might be a secluded spot on a beach or in a cave. As you do this, imagine that you see a figure moving towards you from the distance, and you recognize them, you know them, and you think, oh, I know that person. Now, what comes to mind for you? Do you get a name in your mind, or do you get a feeling of a particular animal or a particular creature? As you see this figure moving closer towards you, notice how they move. Do they move slowly? Do they amble? Do they move gracefully? Do they hop or jump? Or do they run? As they're getting closer and closer, you can begin to make out the features of the face. Notice the expression that you see. Is it smiling or serious? As they walk close to you, they stop. Close enough that you can see them and hear them, but also giving you plenty of space. and they reach out to you as a gesture of welcoming and greeting. Notice the way that you feel around them. Do you feel safe and calm and quiet? Or maybe you feel daring and adventurous, ready to race off into the world and get things done. As you notice how this guide makes you feel a light, and you see this light, and it starts in the heart of this figure, and it comes up, and it moves away from them, and it comes towards you, and it's this green gold light glowing. And it comes towards you and it settles on your chest above your heart. And you feel it suffuse into your body and settle. And this is your guide's way of showing you that they are with you at all times, and you can reach for them and communicate with them whenever you want to, whenever you need them. They are there with you. Now, move a little closer towards them and reach out your hand and place it palm up in front of them. You're going to ask them to place an object in your hand, which is a physical calling card for them. This object is something that you can touch in the physical world when you come out of this meditation, and when you do it, you are connecting with them and you are calling them to be with you, to communicate. Notice what they place in your hand. It will be something that you already have in your life. It's something that already belongs to you. It could be the charm from a charm bracelet or a pendant. It could be a stone that you've picked up and now sits on your windowsill. It could be a scrap of fabric or a bag. It could be a piece of jewelry, a ring. It will be something that you can hold, something that you could easily place into a bag and take with you, or even put in your pocket. Close your hand around the object and feel its weight in your hand. Feel its texture against your fingers. And as you open your hand again, you see the object begin to fade a little, and it becomes transparent. And this is showing you that it is leaving the meditation and it is solidifying in the physical world so that you will remember the object and easily be able to find it. Now, you're going to ask your guide for a name. And whatever name comes to your mind at first, we're going to take out a notepad in the meditation which is in your pocket, and write down the name. And you might get several names, or they might be names of animals or place names. But the names are going to give you a connection to your guide and will reveal the best way to communicate with them, the best name for them. And it could be a person's name, but it might also be any word that feels emotive for you and which feels right to you. It will have the right fit to it. And you may have a guide who likes to give you clues but won't give, say, a direct answer. And that's okay. Know that in perfect time you will know how to address them. Now, we're going to ask them what kind of guide they are. This might be really obvious. They might appear as the type of guide they are. For example, if they're an animal, they probably will take an animal form, or a form that's a cross between an animal and something more like a human. However, they might be a kind of guide who typically doesn't take a particular form. For example, they might actually be a guide who appears in the form of light or of abstract shape, and they might be taking a form for this meditation in order to make it easier to understand and communicate with them. So as you're looking at them, ask them to show you images which correlate to the kind of guide that they are. For example, if they are an angelic guide, they might show you feathers, and they might show you coloured feathers depending on what kind of angel they are or what kind of work they do. You know, they might show you a yellow feather, or they might show a red feather or a blue feather. They might show you feathers that correlate with chakra colours if you're interested in chakra work, but they will choose colours which feel representative to you of the kind of work that they do. So it will feel clear to you when you see the colours that they show you. You'll know what kind of things they're focused on. Or if they are a soul group guide and they have worked with you over many different lifetimes, then they may appear as somebody from the past, a historical figure, or in historical dress, something from ancient times, something which looks old, and when you see that outfit that they wear, it will spark a feeling of memory and a kind of aha moment. You'll recognize what they're wearing, and it will be a lifetime that you have shared together before. You might have an ancestor guide, and they might show you this through either taking an appearance of a family member, or they may show you something like a picture book, or a family tree, or a picture of a tree. They might even show you a mirror to suggest that they are like you, they are in your lineage, in your bloodline. You might have a guide who is an animal, as I said before, and they may appear as an animal, or they may hold that animal, or they may appear as a pet that you have or have had who is also that animal, showing you that they are with you through the connection of that animal companion. You may have a plant guide, and they may show you themselves growing up from the ground as that plant. They might show you the flowers or the leaves. If it's a tree, they might show you the trunk. They might even show you animals that live in that tree. Whatever information you're getting, we're going to take that notebook that's in your pocket and we're going to write it down. And as we write this information, it is being encoded within us so that we remember it. Now, we're going to ask the guide to show us the symbols that they use to communicate with us. Guides often choose things in our everyday life and the physical world to use to communicate with us because they'll get our attention or they have a specific meaning to us. So we're going to ask the guide now to show the symbols that they use. It might be a number. For example, you look at the clock and you always see a specific number. It might be repeating numbers. It could be a time that you wake up every day, every night or morning. They could communicate to you through music. It could be a song that comes on the radio, and every time you hear it, you feel this sensation of awareness, a sensation of recognition, and the feeling that you've kind of woken up. It could be words, specific words that when you hear them in a passing conversation or on the television or the radio or written down in a book, when you see them, that's the key for you to pay attention to what's going on. That could be your guide saying, I am communicating to you something here. Listen to this. Look at this. They could communicate to you through feelings. You might notice that you suddenly get a strong feeling at certain times, or when certain things happen. You might suddenly feel giddy or quiet, and that could be their way to tell you to pay attention when you get that sudden feeling that feels different from how you felt just a moment before. They could communicate to you through the landscape. For example, through the clouds or rocks or plants. When you see a certain plant, when you see a certain cloud formation or a shape in the clouds, that could be a way for them to communicate with you. There are a myriad of ways for them to communicate, and they will give you a few different ways, a few different things that they use. They may also communicate to you psychic ways of getting your attention. For example, you might clairvoyantly see something when they're communicating with you. They might send you a symbol or an image, or you might hear something, clairaudient. You might feel something. You might get a sensation, a soft feeling, or something hard or wet, and they might communicate with you in this way as well. Now, we're going to ask them to tell you what their focus of work is and how they work with you, specifically to fulfill your purpose. And here they might show you something like a job. They might show you a nurse or an actor or a musician. They'll likely show you some kind of archetype, an archetype of the role that best describes them. Maybe a teacher. And you can ask them to show you what they are working with you to bring into reality and bring to fruition at this time. As you do this, allow them to move closer to you, and if you feel comfortable, you can reach out and take their hand. Feel that it is warm and that you are grounded and safe. You are not moving anywhere out of this clearing, and they are not trying to take you anywhere. They are just right there with you, happy to be with you in this space. Notice what they show you. They may show you, again, an archetype, a role, something that you are doing. It might be something that you already do, a profession you already have, or they may be showing you a profession that you dream about having, or even that you may never have considered. Remain open-minded to what they show you, because they are showing you something that aligns with your highest calling, something for your highest good, and that might not be something that you're aware of yet. It may be something that doesn't even seem like it makes sense, but just allow whatever they're showing you to come through. They might show you symbols, or they may show you feelings, emotions. They may communicate with colors, or they may speak to you. You may hear what kind of voice they have. Is it raspy or deep or light or high-pitched? Is it in a language that you know? As you take in the information that they are giving you, notice how their hand begins to glow. And if you are holding their hand, your hand begins to glow too. If not, then you can see in the palm of their hand that there is a seed, and the seed is growing. It starts off as a speck, and it grows and grows until it's about the size of an avocado stone. And you can see in the stone swirling colours and lights. They take this seed and they hand it to you. And as you take it, it glows and is surrounded by the same gold light that is surrounding you in your bubble. Now, we're going to sit down on the ground, and there in front of you, you see some tools. They might be gardening tools, a trowel, or it might be a hammer to break through some concrete. But there's some tools there so that you can get to the earth. And you pick up the tool and you begin to dig and make a hollow, make a space for the seed. As you're making space for the seed, you can hear your guide speaking to you. They may be giving you instructions, or they may be telling you a story, or they may be talking about memories they have with you, things you've done together in this life or a past life, or even in spirit. You can hear them laughing, or the serious tone of their voice. And they sit down opposite you and they help you to dig. And then once the hole feels deep enough, you place the seed in the hole, and your guide helps you to scoop the earth back over the seed. And then they place their hand on top of the soil, and you place your hand on top of theirs, and that glowing golden light shines from both of your hands, and you feel a sprout rising up out of the earth. You take your hands away, they take their hands away, and you watch as it begins to grow. And it's just a small sprout right now, green and new. But your guide is showing you that this space is one that you share and is dedicated to your growth, dedicated to your work together. And at any time you can return to this space, and they will return with you, and you can work together on this growth. They will help to tend this seed and help it to grow. And this seed is just like you on your path in this life, always growing, always developing, and they are always with you to help you. Now, you both get up and you see they raise their hand, and it is palm up in front of you, and you raise your hand to mirror theirs, and you can feel a transference of energy and heat from them to you. And they tell you that they are very glad to have met you, and very, very glad and happy that you know them, that you have had this experience with them and that they have had this experience with you. You can say goodbye to them in any way that you like. You might want to give them a hug. You might shake their hand. You might wave at them. Whatever feels best and most natural for you. And then they turn and they begin to move away. As you watch them receding into the distance, you can feel your gatekeeper standing behind you, and they are telling you that they are now going to help you to come back. So you're going to turn around and you're going to walk back the way you came. And again, you're going to notice the feelings, the surroundings, and the environment. And you're going to see that door that you saw before that you walked through. And you notice that the same warm light is coming from the other side. You reach out and turn the handle and move through the doorway. And then you close the door behind you. You feel your gatekeeper, and they are thanking you for this time together, and they are telling you that it is now safe and you are back in your body, back in this physical reality, and you can open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Notice the way that you feel grounded and secure with those golden roots that we set down before we began. And you can feel the bubble of light still around you, protecting you and keeping you safe. Take some time to settle back into your body. Wiggle your toes, move your feet, just stretch and move around. And then when you feel ready, you can get a piece of paper and write down anything that came to you during the meditation. Write down the feelings that you had, the images that you received. As you do this, feel the resonance of that light in your heart that your guide gave to you, and feel how they are with you even in this moment, that you don't have to go anywhere to communicate with them because they are always with you. But know that you can go to this special place whenever you want to, and they will meet you there. You might decide to draw this place, or maybe just doodle a couple of little symbols that remind you of it. Make a key of the symbols that they showed to you, or write down the things that they mentioned that they will use to communicate with you, because you will begin to notice them straight away. You will begin to see them appearing in your life, and they were appearing in your life anyway, but you'll start to notice them more. And that's one of the amazing things about connecting with our guides, is you really see how quickly you'll notice these things. And that concludes our meditation. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It was a real pleasure, and I hope you have a beautiful time connecting with your guides. You can use this meditation as many times as you like, and you can use it to meet different guides at different times. Sending so many blessings to you and so much love. Thank you.